Howdy folks, welcome to another DIY video here at the Weekend Angler. I'm sure you all remember Heath. He and I fished together in a previous video, and yesterday I went with Heath. He bought a new boat, new used boat, and it's got this Mercury Classic 50 two-stroke outboard on it. And this is going to be the first time we've tried to start this up. Instead of taking it to the water, we're going to be using a set of the flushing muffs. And if you've got an outboard and you don't have a pair of these, you really need to go out and buy them. They're about $7. Walmart, any of your sporting goods places have these. These are worth every penny. These allow you to run your boat motor off of a garden hose, and helps her if you're having any trouble getting your engine to start. Also, if you do need to start your engine out of water for whatever reason, if you don't have water going to it, you will burn up your water pump. And then you're going to be either repairing it yourself or taking it to a marine mechanic to get repaired. So we're going to get this put on the boat. We'll get this thing, get the cowling taken off this motor. That way we can take a look at it. We'll get it primed up and get it ready to fire up. So give me just a moment. Okay folks, we're back, and Heath's going to get the motor primed up there. First thing he's going to do is open up the vent on the fuel tank. And if you don't have that open, you're going to find out in a hurry that you don't, because your motor's going to start and then it's going to die. And you do get towed back to the boat ramp. He and I did that probably about 15 or 20 years ago. And he's going to go ahead and squeeze that primer bulb till it gets firm there. And you're good to go. So we'll pull that back. We've got the cowling off the side of the motor. Once we got everything primed up, you're going to check for any leaks. Take a look up in there, see if we've got any fuel leaking in it out of the carbs. It doesn't appear to be. So we will take, and it's on that. So turn that, we'll get that going. Give me just a second here. We're going to move the camera so we get a better view of the motor. All right, on the Mercuries, most of your older Mercuries will have a throttle only button at the bottom of the shift handle. And when you're getting ready to start one of these motors, it's best to depress that. Sometimes it takes a little bit of force, and push the throttle handle forward. And that will advance the throttle without putting the motor into gear, because when the motor's in gear, it's not going to start up. The key system on this has a push to choke, and when he pushes that, it's going to choke out the carburetors. You can hear that there. I'm going to give me just a second. We're going to get a video of that so folks can see what's going on with it. All right, not for sure if you can see it there. Go ahead and do it a couple more times there, Heath. Okay, and that choke is just controlled by an electric solenoid. That clicking sound lets you know that it's working. And when that solenoid engages, it's going to lift up and close the chokes on both of the carburetors. This here is a 4-cylinder inline 50 horse motor. So let's get ready. Let's start her. Folks, there's a few things you want to check whenever you're running the outboard on the flushing muffs. One of which is the telltale. That lets you know that the water pump is working. Every motor is going to have one of these somewhere. Now, don't be immediately concerned if you don't get water pumping through this right away. A lot of motors are set up to where the thermostat has to open before they will start discharging water through the telltale. And even then, if you don't get any, the first thing, probably the best thing to do, is go ahead and get you a real small piece of wire and run it up there gently and pull it back and forth. A lot of the time, dirt daubers will get up there and fill that hole up, or a spider or otherwise a bug will get up in there. They'll carry some dirt in and just happen to plug that up. You'll hit that, a little bit of dirt, a little bit of mud will come out, and then this thing will start pumping fine. Now, you really, if you're not pumping water, you do want to check your motor. Make sure you don't let it run long enough that it overheats. If it's overheating, you do have a cooling system issue. Most likely it's the water pump, but it could be a few other things, so you want to get that checked out. And the other things we're going to check, we're going to make sure the engine will go, or the outboard will go smoothly into forward and reverse. So I'm going to step back because this is going to be loud again. I'm going to step back here. Heath is going to fire this up, and we're going to go through. You won't be able to hear me, but I'm going to have him put it in reverse, put it in forward. We're going to make sure the telltale's going, and then this boat will be ready for the lake as long as everything checks out. Heath, go ahead and fire her up. Put her forward. All right, that's good. Put her in reverse. That's good. Kill her off. There we go. Guys, after you get done running it on the muffs, give her, 30 seconds to a minute on the water. That lets any water get up there and just help keep the motor cool. But guys, this motor started, like I said, it's the exception to the rule. Every used boat I've ever bought, I've had to spend a couple days at least getting everything in line. Like I said, this one was well taken care of. I think it's going to make him a good boat, and he and I were talking earlier, once we get everything set up and get it out on the water, find out how everything's working on her. We're looking to probably put another set of monster rod holders on this boat, because there's one particular lake that I'm going to admit I'm being selfish, but as Heath told me yesterday, we've got a very good catfish lake just a little ways northwest of us called Baldwin Lake. It's a power plant lake, and it is known for monster blue cats. And unfortunately, they have a 50 horsepower limit, and the smallest outboard I have is a 115 on my catfishing boat. My bass boat has a 200, so unless I want to run a trolling motor all over a power plant lake, I'm pretty much not going to fish Baldwin. However, Heath now has a 50 horse outboard, so I'm thinking there's going to be some blue cats putting this boat over at Baldwin. So I told Heath I'd probably hook him up and get some monster rod holders put on there for him, and we'll go from there. And when we get this thing out on the water, we'll try to take a video of that, go through your basic controls and how to run a boat here. This is a 16-foot Fisher aluminum Marshhawk 3V V-hull bass boat, fishing boat, however you want to look at it. It's got live well in it, got a bunch of storage, and it's going to be a good boat. It's going to be a good boat for Heath, and I think it's going to work out real nicely. So folks, as always, I appreciate you watching my videos. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. Have a great day, and we'll see you out on the water.